It's morning, and that means it's time for Rotten Mornings. The best way to start your morning off rotten.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Rotten Mornings. I'm Scott, and Matt. I don't hear Matt. Maybe you guys hear Matt. Maybe you guys hear Matt talking right over me, or I'm talking right over him. Not sure. Matt's not going to be joining us for this episode. Had a late night last night. They were out at Nightmare 3008, checking that out, and I went on an adventure to Mississippi, to the Bailey's Haunted Firehouse. So we had a very late night last night, and kind of getting an early start on the day. We saw a couple of things yesterday, but I'm going to wait till Matt jumps back on to do the reviews of those. As always, it's more fun with two. But coming up today, we do have a couple of things. You know, if you guys want to check out what we've got coming up today, we should have this podcast. Hey, this podcast. I don't know if you guys are tired of that joke yet or not. And if you are, hey, we totally understand. But we just want to tell you what's coming up today, and more of this me talking for the rest of the day. That's it. So yeah, there's the Rotten Mornings, and then at 5 p.m. today, we have a new episode of Rotten House. And another unfinished review will be coming out at 6. At 7, we have episode 17 of Rotten Strips. I can't believe it's already 17 episodes. Let me do some math here. 17. That looks like we're about a third of the way through. So, you guys stick around and check these things out. If you guys haven't already checked out Rotten Strips, please do. At 8, we will be at a haunt. And we might both be at a haunt tonight. We just don't know where the day will take us. I know that they were planning on being out at the Mountain Creek haunt, so I have not been to that haunt. It's one of the few that I haven't been to, and I've heard good things, and Matt and Brandy seem really excited to be out there, so if you guys want to jump out there and or jump on and check out them being live at that haunt, that's awesome. And then we'll have the reviews of those coming up next week, so kind of get what's going on with those. If you guys haven't checked those haunts out, guys, what are y'all doing? Are y'all hitting haunts? Are y'all seeing stuff? Let us know. Shoot us a message. Comment on our stuff. Our podcast is gaining in viewers, our listeners. I guess if you're viewing this podcast, I'd like to know where. But yeah, the podcast is gaining some listeners. If you guys have stumbled across this podcast on the Apple Music or on Spotify or any of the places that podcasts are being played, and you haven't checked out our video stuff yet, oh my gosh, go check out our video stuff. We are Rotten Reviews, ROTN, on Facebook, and if you see us and find a website with lots of crazy videos and stuff, you found us. You found us. It is early today. It's going to be a very long day, so probably tomorrow's episode of Rotten Mournings will sound just as tired as this one. Very, very possible. And this is a busy season. It really is. We have a lot of things going on, and I know a lot of you guys have a lot of stuff going on too. What are you guys working on besides, being in haunts and things like that? Guys, let us know. Interact with us and chat with us. We love to hear from you. And gosh, we just love the snot out of all of you guys. So as soon as we are able to reconnect, that wacky Matt and I, we will do the reviews of the programs that we have put out, and that should be good. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this section, but we're going to jump over into the supernatural portion, and would love to have you join us over there. Really would. If you don't want to, hey, that's fine. You guys have a rotten morning. But if you would like to join us over there, I can guarantee you'll have a rotten morning. Alright, guys, stay rotten. There are many things to fear in this world. Things that hide in the shadows and creep around in the dark. But the one thing I find more terrifying than any other is mankind. Tonight, we tell the story of Alferd Packer. And we're back. Matt? Can you... Well, it appears I've already used that joke, and that's okay. This morning we'll be talking about the only man ever convicted of cannibalism in the United States, Alferd Packer. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to... So the research that we did for this particular episode is pretty intensive. There is a Wikipedia page about Alferd Packer that we skimmed, and then also the guys that made South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they made a movie about this guy called Cannibal the Musical, which we will use as the basis of most of the facts of this particular episode. So, from what we understand about the story, there was a group of men who were on their way to find gold and finding a new way to traverse the country, and they did a lot of singing, a couple of dance numbers, and I guess one of the guys killed them all. The way that the movie presents the story of Alferd Packer is very similar to Tucker and Dale, where people are, I guess, accidentally dying, and then you have one kind of central person who these things are being blamed on, regardless of who was actually at fault. And that was kind of how the movie was. Well, in the actual story, it's a little bit a little bit different. There was these five guys, and then they got lost in the woods. They ran out of food. They're freezing to death, and so uh, it was kind of alleged that Alfred Grimmer Packer was had murdered them, and then of course ate them for survival. This is not even remotely close to the only time that this has happened in American history or even the world history. Um, there's a really interesting book. I was trying to remember the name of it, but it's a book about the Donner Party. And if you know a lot about the Donner Party, you know that they had some just heart wrenching uh, times. The book that I was thinking of is called The Indifferent Stars Above, The Harrowing Saga of the Donner Party. And that book is wonderful in that it really kind of puts you there. And you see that, again, like in so many of these stories, it's usually mankind that is mankind's greatest villain. And I don't mean, I guess, that eating other people is the villainous part, right? I mean being put in that situation where, family members die and you're out of food, and that's where you're you've trusted a God who has convinced you that he knows where he's going, and he has taken you to a place where he's obviously lost. There's no way to get back in time before you die. No one's there, a powerful hunter, or you're in the dead of winter where there's not enough animals, or you're already so weakened by your travels that you're not able to go and hunt for food. And then you have a corpse of either a party member or a family member, and you're kind of left with that choice. Well, it wasn't, a choice that you ever wanted. This was kind of a choice presented as you have been thrown off by your guide or whoever it was that you trusted. We saw that too in, I guess, the Night of the Living Dead. I forgot the name of that movie. What was the movie with the Living Dead? It happened at night. The Night of the Living Dead movie. They easily could have survived, except for there was someone who was bit with a zombie bite. Now, obviously, if there anybody who would be bit by a zombie or have an infection like that, they wouldn't say, "Hey, I've been bit by a zombie. Throw me out there to be horribly murdered." Maybe more people would hide that and say, "Hey, I don't have this thing." We probably see that with coronavirus right now. Someone's got a cough and they don't know for sure what kind of cough it is, but they're like, "Oh God, hey guys, it's just a seasonal allergies, guys." Um, so anyway, it's just that if we're just kind of more upfront about that, right? Like, hey, I was bit by the zombie. I chopped my arm off. Kind of pull the ash in the cabin in the woods in the Evil Dead films. And then maybe we would be able to get through situations like that. But I think it would be very like, man, it's such a crazy thing to go, hey, take your family, take all your belongings, yes. Take all your belongings, take your kids, pack everything up, and then trust me to traverse one of the most dangerous sections of the country, because I can definitely get you there. And then just not be able to get them there and then put them in a situation where this is happening. I don't. I don't. I'm very, very much in the school of thought that Alfred Packard did eat his party members, and that he did eat them for survival. Now, did he just kill them and not need them? Like he was like, I'm a bit peckish. I could take this guy out. Or was it, this is the last second of my life. I could either kill someone and eat them, or that's it. I have no other option. Or was it, well, I've had first and second lunch, but there's no berries, there's no cream, but there is John's shoulder. I don't think that would be a very different situation, but I'm convinced that he ate those people. And I don't think that we'll ever know the full account of it, because, to my knowledge, none of the dead people who have been eaten have returned to tell their side of the story, which makes this terribly convenient. I do know that in Utah, there's a cafeteria that's named after Alfred Packer, and that is where Trey Parker and Matt Stone got the idea to make this movie. Well, they didn't even make a movie about it. What they did was they made a trailer for a movie, and they put that out and as a project for school. And people were like, "Oh, God, that's great. When's the movie coming out?" They're like, "No, there's no movie. We're just putting the trailer out." And they're like, "Okay, cool, but where's the movie?" So they're like, "Hey, you know what? There's enough interest. Let's make the movie." And it became a thing. There's another film. I think the unofficial story of Alfred Packer is another film about this kind of unique character. Anyway, if you guys haven't seen those films, or know anything about Alfred Packer, I highly recommend checking them out, because that is an interesting part of American history. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Join us tomorrow morning for another episode of Rotten Mournings. You guys stay safe out there. Have a rotten morning. Stay rotten.